Thursday deadline, and this is picking up speed. Cavs and Clippers possibly discussing a Harden-Garland swap. According to Brett Siegel, Harden and LA have actually been discussing a split for weeks now, which is kind of crazy, but Kawhi was surprised when he found out that Harden wanted that trade. They are 3.5 games back of the Warriors for the 8 seed. Cavs are sitting in the 5 spot out in the East. You woke up, there's a lot of talk about this. Lou makes fun of me, but I listen to NBA radio all day long. People aren't loving it necessarily, Shump. So I'm wondering, how are you feeling when you see these names possibly being swapped? How do you feel?
Don't like it.
Okay.
I think that, James has had difficulty in the playoffs. You're trying to improve yourself in the playoffs, and now you're going to get a James Harden that is not what when we thought he was going to win, he wasn't able to do it, and now you want him to do it as he's years older, you know what I'm saying, and coming out of a frustrating situation. Well, they've been playing well now, but in the early start of this season, frustrating situation, losing Chris Paul, all these different shifts happening, it's like we're not going to throw him in Cleveland and then great things are going to happen. I think that the DG and Donovan Mitchell backcourt is a great backcourt.
Sure.
When you start talking about adding a Schroeder to the mix, I think Schroeder is a proven winner. Whether we think about it a lot or not, he won over the water. He's able to be on a different mix of teams. He knows how to be a professional. He knows what to do. We can have a Dennis Schroeder give you 12 to 15 and sometimes close games for you depending on Donovan Mitchell being hot or somebody else being hot. I just don't know if James Harden coming to the mix and being a ball-dominant basketball player helps you out a ton.
This one's, first of all, we've now spoken of DG possibly being moved the last couple of seasons. Mm-hmm. I will say this, not in my wildest dreams did I think James Harden was going to be the other part of this conversation. So what are we doing here? Does this work for you?
Nah, I agree with Sean. And, this isn't more so about, James. For me, it's more so about Donovan Mitchell as far as, his growth, his development, him being that franchise cornerstone, putting him in the best situation to succeed and putting him in the best situation to be the best version of himself. And adding James to that mix at this stage of both of their careers, it just doesn't really add up and make sense in anything I just, said as far as those matching up. So I'm not a fan of the move. The potential move. And it doesn't really make sense long term, present day, anything. It just, the timelines don't match up. Nothing makes sense in this scenario. So I'm not a fan of it. I do like the additions of, Dennis Schroeder and things like that. I agree with Sean.
Who could be moved again? I feel like this is going to be weird if they start doing all this. Are they going to move him now?
Well, James is next year will be the last year of his deal.
Right.
Last year of his contract, so that's possibly something to look at, that you have some flexibility to move around after that. And it also looks like a one-sided deal when it comes to the Clippers. This looks like a force out for James. I think they've been dealing with this quietly behind closed doors for a couple of weeks, and now that we've gotten to the end of this deadline, things are starting to come out in the public. Now we're starting to see that now we're paying attention to him being away from the team and not being there. And so these things are getting louder and louder. And so for me, this looks like a lateral move for both teams. We don't like it for the Clippers. We don't like, because that's going to put them against the tax and what they want to do and having flexibility in 2027. I think the same thing for Cleveland as well when we start talking about the basketball side of it with Donovan Mitchell and where they're trying to go and adding an Asian superstar to that mix. And then, like Sham just mentioned, you just went and got a Schroeder. You went and got another ball handler, somebody that can alleviate some of the pressure off of Donovan Mitchell. So for both sides, I don't understand it completely, but this looks like a deal that has a lot to do with money and flexibility.
Mm-hmm. Basketball-wise, Lou, what does this look like with Harden and Donovan Mitchell together?
Like I said, I don't know. I don't know at this point.
Know.
Listen, both guys need the basketball in their hands to be successful.
Right.
That's no secret. I think that's why we're even having this conversation about Donovan Mitchell and Garland. All three guys involved in this conversation have to have the basketball. They all three are ball-dominant guys. If one of them can play off the ball, it's going to be Garland. I like to see him off the ball. You like to see Donovan Mitchell off the ball as well. That's why you bring in a shooter. That's why you even bring in Alonzo Ball in the summer. Some guys that can alleviate some of that pressure and let him play some two and be off of the basketball. And so at this point, I don't know what it means. I know James has been next to Kawhi Leonard for a number of years now, and he's kind of been a facilitator. He's kind of taken a back seat to him and picking his spots when to be aggressive. But, when you go to a new market, you want to prove that you're still you. And so I feel like if you add James Harden to a Cleveland Cavaliers, he's going to be the best version of James Harden that he can possibly be, and that might be disruptive to Donovan Mitchell. So I don't know what to make of all of this.
It's very loud trade rumor as far as rumors go, and 48, 30, I don't know how many hours we're away from this thing. Donovan Mitchell's having the best scoring year of his career, and that's the other part of this, Boogie, because we spent so much time. I thought we'd all finally mentally gotten to a place where we're like, you know what, Donovan Mitchell and DG, we kind of like that. We like the way. Finally, we got to that point, and now we're going to rip that up, and we're going to bring just the collective talking head group. That's for Donovan Mitchell. If you're Donovan Mitchell, are you waking up to this thinking, I don't know if I like this or not?
If I'm Donovan Mitchell, I am feeling that way. Like I said, on paper, it doesn't make sense. If you don't like the situation of Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell, then bringing in James Harden is basically creating the same type of situation. It's two ball-dominant type of guards. And also, at the same time, they're not the best defensively together. So it's more so the same problem. So if I am Donovan Mitchell, I'm not necessarily happy about the potential move. As far as making moves, I do like the aggressiveness of the Cavaliers and trying to improve. They're not having the year that they would have liked to have or expected to have, but I don't think this is necessarily the right move for them moving forward. So,
if you're Harden, are you stoked about the idea of going to play in Cleveland, Sean?
I mean, if you're James Harden, anytime you could be a part of a playoff team, you're happy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think that James is going to do some of his best work in the playoffs where you're now in a series. It's about adjustments. You've been here before, and you have to do this. We haven't seen James, make the steps that we want him to make as far as getting into the championship and doing his thing ever since leaving from OKC. We thought we'd finally see it. And, he hasn't been able to get over the hump. But his leadership alone of coming onto a team and being able to explain to the young guys that haven't been there what they need to go through, what they need to do, the mistakes that he's made. I mean, he's got some positives on paper. I'm not saying he's worthless. I'm just saying when you pair him next to Donovan Mitchell, do you really think Donovan Mitchell is going to spread his wings bigger? You got Jalen Tyson saying it's his city now. And now you just going to switch everything up on him.
And you even got Tyson playing well at that position.
Yeah.
So
I don't understand and Boogie just pointed out a great point. The times that the Cavs have been successful in previous years hung the hat on the defensive end. When you bring James, you're not
That's not happening.
You're not getting defense. So you already lost. You traded
Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter, DeAndre Hunter. You already